Get up, get up, get up, get up. Let's get ready for Marcus Maven. You're about midway to the midday with Marcus Maven. And you can call in or lay back and just listen to Marcus Maven. So sit back and relax and watch Maven.
Broadcasting live from the Sam Aguiar Injury Lawyer Studios. Time for Middays with Marcus Maven on 93.9 The Ville. Hurt in a car? Call Sam Aguiar. Now, here's Marcus Maven and Steve Rummage.
Scott pitches to the high left to Hadley, fires a three, buried it. Javon Hadley has been on fire from three, 46% in conference play, and over 50% in the month of February. He has Louisville's first 5 points. 50-48, Louisville leading with 11.5 minutes to play. Hepburn in the front court to Hadley on the top right, moves it back to Hepburn out front. Chucky looking, lobs it, caught by Scott and fouled as he put it through, fouled by Wessler. Scott now with 10 points in the game. Works a little bit closer on Burke, turns into the lane. Bounce past the left corner for Edwards, three, good! Beautiful. 6 to shoot. Hepburn drives it, Hepburn to the rim, up no good, slams up, followed by Scott. The wall sends it back outside to Young, 15 seconds. Young out of the top on Edwards. Throws the right corner, Rexsteiner knocked away, picked up by Hadley. 8 seconds to go, and they foul Rain Smith. Javon Hadley, you would need a big play. He's going to come through for you time and again. 71. They get into play to Rexsteiner. Rexsteiner inside half court. Don't want to foul him. Heaves up a long three. No good. And chased down the corner, and time runs out. And Louisville has won it on the road at Virginia Tech. 71-66.
I'm going to sound like I'm being a wise guy, but I promise you I'm not. You know how good Chucky Hepburn is? Even when he's bad, he's good, because he was not good tonight. He had 6 turnovers, and yet plus 13. The best plus minus of anybody on the team. When he's on the floor, good things happen for you.
Yeah. Gosh darn, he's one of the best point guards in the country. So sure glad he's on my team. I know that.
So, well, I'm glad you're happy. I'm glad you're thrilled. Because I'm anything but. Okay. Good job. Good win, Louisville basketball. Whew. I did not need to be ranked number 19, complaining about everything else under the sun and lose to Virginia Tech. I didn't need that in my life.
The deep breath I took last night, after that was loud. Yeah, it was, oh, yeah, all right. But hey, before we get into it, and
Steve
before
Rummage in the
I start,
building, Nikki V in the booth.
well done. Like, is he? I mean, that wasn't like really his kid or anything, right? Like,
I think it was legitimately.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if he's related to them because that's Rick Steiner is Scott Steiner's real last name.
Yeah.
And he's got a son that plays football. Is that crazy to think he has another athletic son? But I don't know if he's related to Rick or if he's Scott's kid or something. But I think I'm gonna look that up.
I'm curious. I like it. Well, anyways, regardless, man. Before I get into pooping all over my team, it's a good win. Friday night or Wednesday night.
Wednesday.
You get out of there.
Tuesday.
You get out of there with the dub.
Tuesday
night, whatever day it was. I don't know, man. We got a game tonight at Holy Cross. I've got games Louisville's playing, but you go into a poop brown orange gym
pit.
Like even my wife's sitting there. She starts watching the game with me and she goes, "Well, that's an interesting color scheme." I'm like, "Yeah, it's horrible. It's actually one of the ugliest places I've ever seen."
Who looks more?
Really?
Yeah.
Who looks more like the mascot, Lual or the coach?
Oh, that's a good one.
Tell me you didn't notice that.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
If you look
I'm trying not to leave you on an island.
If you look at I
had bigger issues last night.
Look at the Virginia Tech logo that was on the clothes of the players and or the coaches. And they've gone with this new turkey thing, and it looked almost identical to the coach and Lual in different ways. But if you bring up the logo, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Actually, Nikki, that would be a wonderful poll question to put up on behalf of this show. Who looks more?
I'm on it.
Get the little new Virginia Tech Hokie cartoony mascot and say who. Okay, Steve, good win. Good. Okay, I won't say good win. I'll say good job not losing.
Yeah, because I mean, if you lose that game, I mean, hell, you won it and dropped 3 spots in the net. So you imagine, seriously, you did.
You won and dropped.
Yeah. So like, you imagine if you lost that game. I mean, that's a seed line loss. I mean, a total seed line loss. Now you're going, okay, now we're in play for a 7-8, as opposed to 6-7. So yeah, way to hang on. And while there was a lot I can poo-poo, I mean, I still watched my team games tied 53-53, get 4 straight stops. Games tied 55-55, get 3 straight stops. Like I watched them still come up with the dub. I watched them at the end of the game, win the game on defense, make the play that needed to be played. I mean, Terrence Edwards plays like absolute dog poo. And then at the end of the game, he hits 2 threes and kind of like, okay, Chucky Hepburn, 6 turnovers. That's pretty uncharacteristic. Rain Smith couldn't hit the backside of a barn. When have you ever said that? Everything went against you last night, and you still walked out of there with the dub. Oh, by the way, Virginia Tech shot the ever-loving lights out, and there's not a lot of lights in that place. Okay? And you still walked out of there with a win. That needs to be, for me, first and foremost. And it's like I almost feel obligated to do that first.
I'm glad. Also, I'm glad you did that. And here's the thing: we, as a fan base, you and I, as the host, we did the biggest jinx leading up to it. Just we emotionally jinxed our team by acting like we couldn't be beat by Virginia. The only segment where I'm proud is
I still don't think we could. I mean, they played probably their best, and we played like dog crap and won the game.
No, I listen. I know what you're saying, but here's the problem, Steve.
No, I know.
Yeah, just when you go Louisville is playing for money. Interestingly enough, he did not show up for them.
Oh,
right?
2 points.
Yeah, he was a guy I was really worried about. Actually, I think he wanted to play well so bad that it kind of worked against him. Like, and here's the thing, when I do the little pre-games, I kind of talk about possible threats. You do the scout. Like, listen, you know this now, Steve. You do the scout of another team and you treat them like they're the best team on planet Earth. And they have every reason, and ignore everything you've seen out of this team. Ignore their record, ignore their shooting percentages, because shooting percentages cover the beginning of the season when they were playing terrible and all that good stuff. And you say, okay, where's their motivation at? And then you go, Burnham is from College of Charleston. He won't be the same person that you saw on any other scout. He won't be the same person you saw on any other scout. The last 3 games, Jaden Young, he's been hot. He won't be the same person that you've seen over the course of, this is not the same. Like I said, those early 10 losses are not the same late because they had like 7 or 8 sophomores on the team.
Yeah.
But now they're juniors. Those sophomores at the end of the year are juniors. They're finding their way. Again, I can give you a whole scout out, but at the end of the day, I'm always going to say, yeah, but we got some seniors. And that's just why we won't lose.
Well, and we don't just have that, Marcus. We've got a pretty dang good coaching staff, too.
And we got a unit, a unified staff. Did you see the plays he drew up out of the timeouts when you needed a bucket?
Oh, the one that was probably my favorite of the night was Chucky over to the right wing, kind of Rain Smith gives him the little flip. Smith goes around. Oh my God, James Scott sets a hammer screen and you get Rain just goes all the way around. Chucky hits the skip pass across. Now Rain missed the shot, but it was like, oh God, you could see it developing. It was like, oh, that is beautiful.
That is beautiful,
man.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
You see it developing. You listen to Boeheim watching it develop. Isn't it so fun, Steve, where you see it about to be open 3 seconds before it's open. You're like, he's going to get that look. Or what's even better, even better, Steve, the eye candy on a play gets your eyes looking towards the basket. And then you say, oh no, they're setting up. Like, you know how a guy passes it and you think it's a bad pass, and then you realize at the last second that wasn't going to him. That was you know how it looks like he overthrows James Scott or something, and then you realize, no, that's a skip going to somebody else, and your eyes just get drawn to it, and you're like, oh, that was a beautiful setup. The first. Okay, I've seen it run, but seeing it run with personnel that can really be a problem is a different level too. When I saw UConn in their late run, the championship run, I would see some of those plays, some of those awkward motion plays, those throwback screens. I would just be blown away at how smart the design of the play is. And the exit,
Marcus, watching Danny Hurley, now that I'm learning a little more of the coaching side, you know what I mean, and seeing the game a little differently, I'll just say it. Danny Hurley seems like, a real a-hole.
Yep.
But it's like sex watching his offensive sets. I mean, even this year, even though they're not as good, you watch a UConn game and just watch it for sets. I challenge you, just if you're bored one day, just watch a UConn game for sets and things they run. And it is like, oh my God. I mean, I had Coach Lieberman call me one day. It was like, drop what you're doing, watch this UConn game. And it was just like, oh my God. Like I wasn't watching the game for the game. I was just watching just every play. Just let me see what UConn's doing.
Yeah. Can you watch?
And I'm saying sets, but even the actions that they run. Because sometimes it's not just the set, it's just the actions that they run. It's freaking beautiful. It's beautiful.
Listen, watching the game 3 times, you can watch the game the first time and look and see if the shot hits or misses. Okay, you can watch it one time just for the score. Who hits their shots? Who doesn't? When Terrence Edwards gets to the basket, who hits it? Who's just the game. And then when you go back, you know how some coaches say if you get it. I believe it was we talked about Rain Smith or running a scout against Rain Smith, and if he gets an open look, that's an automatic point. So when you're playing in practice and scrimmaging each other, if he gets an open look, if he hits it, it's 3. If he misses it, it's 1, because that's how we're going to train our brain to take Rain Smith out of the game. Okay, so when you watch a game and you say, that's a good look, you don't even care if he hits it or not. That's a good look. You guys worked together. You ran off the screens. You used each other. Rain Smith knows exactly how to get himself open. He knows how to create a mismatch. He knows what his threat brings to the table. That's just a super high IQ, unselfish guy, and he's physical. So again, ignore that he missed. That he missed so much. If you run an out of bounds play 26 games into the season, and you run an out of bounds play and you get Rain Smith open in the corner, do you know how good you have to be when a team spends their entire scouting department for out of bounds plays and out of timeout plays? We know the biggest threat on this court is Rain Smith getting a corner look at an out of bounds plays. So guess what we do? We sit and walk through. When we land, or if you're at home, we do walk through. We come early in the morning. We after breakfast, we're in the film room or the ballroom or wherever we're at. We're walking through the plays again. Hey guys, this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to get Rain Smith guy open over here in the corner. Okay, you switch this, you get through this screen, you do this, you do this, you do that, you do that. Can you imagine getting to the game, Steve, and them drawing up something new and getting an alley-oop with James Scott or a 3-point? Can you imagine how pissed you are as a staff? You feel stupid. I don't know what more we can do. If we can't stop them from getting that look, then I need a whole new staff.
Yeah.
Or maybe I need to rethink my coaching philosophy. He'll make you question your coaching philosophy by watching James Scott get that lob, the and-one lob he got.
Oh, yeah. Just right over the top, man.
Coach Boeheim says, you got to get more ball pressure than that. Listen, Coach Boeheim is a coach watching basketball. He irritated me at the beginning of the game because he was like, oh, man, like, but then by the end of the game, I'm like, he's just a coach. He's just a coach.
I know. No, he was good. The only time he kind of irritated me a little bit was on that review. I was like, the first couple times it was like, oh, you can't really tell. And then they showed the one thing, and you're like, yeah, you can see his whole finger bend backwards where it hits his finger. And he was like, yeah, can't tell. I'm like, yes, Jim, you can tell. Its whole finger moves. So now he's got me nervous because I'm like, well, surely to God, the refs see that, right? Which I thought the officials were pretty good last night. I mean, when it was early and you could tell they weren't calling those illegal screens, I was like, okay, they're going to let them play. And they did. To their credit, they let them play pretty much on both ends.
No, Steve, they let everybody except for Chucky Hepburn play. Steve,
I don't think he was aggressive.
But
I'm mad at Chucky.
No, you're not mad at Chucky. I'm not going to let you be mad at Chucky. They took Chucky from this game. Listen, you've watched it, Steve. Defend your point guard, Steve. You've watched your point guard do the little reach around, tip the ball loose the entire year. We know it's coming. We know it's a steal. He never fouls on that because he knows exactly what they call that foul on him. Steve, you teach your guys if there's a screen, you bump and then you recover to your man. You saw him bump, try to recover to his man. That's another foul. Ticky-tack foul. I don't know which one the other one was, but it was bull crap. Whatever other call they called on Chucky, you took away his aggressiveness.
Well, he gave the ball to them 6 times, so
because they took his aggressiveness, Steve.
I'm not upset. I'm upset with Chucky. So what you're saying is probably right, but I'm not happy with him. Okay, a couple texts really quick. 'Cause we got quite a few already. Let's see. People talking about the officiating. Team is mentally tough. I agree with that.
Extremely.
Love PK's plays coming out of timeouts. Talk about the time of the adjustment at the end of the game where Scott came out guarding the point guard so they could switch to the ball screen.
That led to the Javon Hadley knocking the ball out of bounds turnover.
Yep.
Steve, in the game, I probably rewound that exact play. Actually, that was at the 6:27 mark. That was I wrote it down.
No. This was at the end of the game, the very end of the game.
Okay. No, okay. You know what I said? The defensive intensity picked up at the 6:27 mark. It wasn't that play in particular.
Yeah.
But yes, the way they started on the switch to get the matchup they wanted at the end was awesome.
Yeah. Because
good call, Texas.
All of us, when the ball got in, I saw James Scott and I'm like, they tricked us. Like, how did they get him on James Scott? Like, I'm already going back thinking, okay, I got to go back and look before this play. What did they like? Like I said, all jokes aside, as the coach part of it, I'm like, what did they do to get James Scott guarding him?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm thinking Virginia Tech tricked us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, we're going to OT, baby. Like, he's going to pull up and this is over. And it was just the masterful job by and Coach Kelsey gave Coach Kloman, the defensive coordinator, all the credit on this. Just a great job by him to recognize that. And then boom, you get Javon Hadley on the switch. Now we've got the matchup we want. Louisville also was able to play a little more aggressive because they only had 14 fouls at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And Javon Hadley just reaches in for the ball. And that's what you do. Because, who cares if they call a foul at that point? Like, call it. It's fine. And he reaches in, goes after it. Boom. No call. And I didn't think there should have been. It was a clean strip. But yeah, it was great defense.
Let me add something extra to that. To the staff, while we're just giving Real Deal Inside Baseball credit.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent use of the timeouts. Excellent use of the timeouts. We haven't been in a position to really have to call a lot of timeouts, but him taking back-to-back timeouts, him just saying, no, we're going to get this right now. We're not going to allow any more slippage. It was kind of, you remember how it was kind of like, the extra timeout that was like, where it got tied or it was a 3-point game and we had just came back from a timeout and it's like, nope, I see something. Let's jump on it right now, get it fixed. So I was like, that's a good, like you can see, that's a good call. That's a good call. Let's get these guys back over here. Let's breathe a little bit. Let's get right. Let's cut off the slippage right now. So yeah, timeout usage Again, when you see the plays out of timeout, when you see the defensive adjustments, out of the timeouts, I'm sure the Virginia Tech coach kind of looked down there and nodded his head. Like, good job, coach.
Sure. Yeah.
I did a bit of a medley on of maybe a couple weeks ago about the coach's post game. Now, I didn't hear the Virginia Tech's coach post game, but I'm curious to go back and see, because he knows his team played well. He knows his team played well. He knows his team had energy. Like, they brought it. Like, they came to try to win the game. From being down early, fighting to get back in it. Like, I'm gonna go back and just kind of chop up the press conference just to see how he responded to it. Again, knowing his team played good. Damn, did old boy almost dunk on Hadley?
He went up. He went up.
No, I'm talking about Burnham when he dunked it.
Yeah. But no, I'm saying Hadley was like ready to go up, but he didn't. Like, I don't think it was a dunk on him. It was a blow by, if anything.
Listen, I'm glad Hadley got out the way at the last minute.
Yeah,
because he.
Yeah.
Listen, you know what's funny? It reminds me of the Deion Sanders said. You remember when Deion Sanders said, "Oh, he can run." He was like, "Oh, he can run," right?
Yep.
And who was it? Rich Eisen said, "Why does that shock you, Deion?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Well, you know what? Listen, when Burnham got that blow by and dunked that ball like he did, it was like, wow, I didn't expect that from him."
I know. Yeah, it's a Coach Kelsey player, though.
That's what I'm saying. And listen, in the scout, Steve, again, you get a player that played under Coach Kelsey is not going to be the same dude that you've been seeing all year. You see him coasting along, and he's a senior. It's like, no way. Like, that's the I always say in the pregame, I'm looking for their Javon Hadley. The stars are going to be their stars. I feel like my two stars are going to play better than their two stars. But that third, that Javon Hadley guy, that's the guy who scares me the most. And it was Burnham.
Sure.
And Burnham being 6'7", Burnham knowing, what Kelsey likes to do, what he likes to take. Listen, and I know you will get more individual later on, but they bothered Javon Hadley last night. Would you agree with that? Yeah. With the deflections?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, well, just because they did, and I was talking with Chase earlier, and he had a good point. I mean, the first thing he said was, he was like, you got to give Virginia Tech a little bit of credit how they defended us, because they did a really good job.
Good call.
At a lot of different stuff, man. And Javon Hadley was one of them. I mean, he burst out of the gate there. He had the first 5, but he wasn't able to just back in the way he wanted to. I mean, the way guys kept digging at him, the way guys kept, and it was something that's one thing. If I have an irrational fear, a game like Virginia Tech worries me, because now I trust Coach Kelsey, but that's definitely a game that forces you to come up with a counterpunch, because Virginia Tech's nowhere near as good as you are, but they exposed a few things that were like, okay, you're going to have to counter that, because other teams are going to start doing that now. And what's your counterpunch? And Coach Kelsey has been great at that so far. I mean, it's not the first time that's happened to us this year.
Oh, okay. Is this a hypothetical, Steve? We got up early. We knew this team couldn't beat us. We put off the gas a bit. Energy level wasn't there. Just by the speed or lack thereof that Chucky brought the ball up the court. Like, was that a game specific thing, or did just complacency in the game creep in on a Javon Hadley? Because here's the thing, I've been asking this question, and I don't even have the right to say it's a problem. But when I watch a game as a fan, or when I watch a game as a player, I'm like, grab the ball on the rebounds. All this tipping to each other cost us some rebounds. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
So were you yelling, grab the ball, or were you like, you get what I'm saying? Like I said, we're happy today, so we're allowed to nitpick today. Did it feel like just an energy shut down a little bit because guys know what we knew? This team really can't beat us. Or do you feel like it exposed? Like, I'm okay. When you say the word exposed, did you feel like it really exposed a bit, or can you write it off as a game specific thing? Because the reason I ask that is because when we have energy in the home crowd, or we got energy with something on the line, I just feel like their intensity is just so much better. And I'm just like, I just didn't see the level of intensity. But I do want to say, how can you have intensity when you jump on a team 20-6? On the other hand, well, I can be that guy like, you gotta put your foot on your throat and keep going, squeezing and going.
No, I mean, I think it's human nature, man. I mean, like I talked just this morning. Coach was watching some more of the game, talking to Coach Lieberman, and I mean, he even said it. Like, it's just human nature. You go up 18-6. I mean, there's going to be slippage from there. I mean, like,
it's going to be slippage.
That's why, as a coach, you're like, let's win let's build this out as much as possible because this team's going to come back. I mean, it was 18-6. It ended up being 20-17. Now that is not ideal, obviously, but I mean. It can't. If the other team, if you're going to get up that big, you need to kill the will of the other team. And the thing that Virginia Tech did last night, that only thing that kept them above water, was they hit threes. And they did it early. I mean, you watched it. It was like, okay, all right, there's a three. All right, it's like 11-0. Then they hit a three. Then it's 13-3, and then they hit a three.
Did they hit a three because of our defense, or did they hit threes like tough shots?
The first two were where I thought were pretty good shots they had to hit. But then you kind of that's where you get into now it's 15-6, 16-6, and you start getting into a little bit of slippage. Now they hit another three. Now it was 9. Then they hit another three. And now it's 20-12, and you're going, okay, guys, now it's just an 8-point game. Like, it feels like you're winning this game by 30 and you're not, like they're right here. And then a and one and a bucket. And you're like, okay, now it's 2017. Now it's a 3-point game. Like 3-pointers in that. I mean, even though it happened slow, that kept them in the game. A couple of those shots don't fall. Louisville probably ends up winning the game by 20-something last night.
And
just because it would have killed their spirit,
I hear you, Steve. And then when you other perspective, you're like, Rain Smith had to literally miss every single open look he got. Or not really still. What he hit, two 3-pointers?
I think he had 2.
He had 2. Nice right hand layup by Rain Smith too. Yeah. Little teardrop. But you know how you go back and if you watch it again, you're like, if Rain Smith gets these looks and hits them, we wipe the floor of this team.
Yeah.
On some normal looks. So yeah. So why I do say we had a little bit of the turnover bug. We had a little bit of, like it's hard to say if that was lethargic because of jumping on them so early, or did Virginia Tech just play over the head? I'll tell you what, let's take a quick commercial break. Stay on schedule, or do we got do we don't have anybody on the phone line, do we?
Nope, we're good.
Roll along. 93.9 DeVille.
Hi, Card fans. Attorney Sam Aguiar here, proud partner of U of L Athletics and ESPN Radio Louisville. Car wrecks can be a nightmare, and insurance companies are just going to make it worse. But when you're part of our team, we take care of those hassles so you can focus on getting better. We've helped thousands of Card fans get life-changing results on their claims, and it would be an honor to work for you too. So if you've been hurt in a car, give us a call at 502-888-8888 or check us out online at demandsam.com. And go Cards!
We are right in the heart of winter, so it's time to ask yourself if your heating system can make it to spring. So if you have any issue with your heat, or if you know it's time for a new system, then you need to call DFH Company today. Now until January 31st, when you buy a complete Trane system, receive 18-month special financing. It's hard to stop a Trane, so call DFH Company today at 968-6222, or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Visit dfhcompany.com for complete program eligibility, dates, details, and restrictions. Subject to credit approval.
Looking for the perfect place to kick back, relax, and catch the Cards, Cats, or Hoosiers? 1020 Brewery has you covered. With their fun, laid-back atmosphere, it's like a sports bar without the sports bar feel. Grab a pint of their refreshing 1020 light beer, dig into their amazing food, and enjoy the games on our multiple big screen TVs with friends. And with college basketball hitting its peak, there's no better place to catch all the action of the conference tournaments and NCAA matchups. So grab your crew and come visit 1020 Brewery in Butchertown or Clarksville, the best place to cheer, chill, and enjoy the game. 1020 Brewery. Great beer, great food, great vibes. Come visit us.
Hey, it's Bob Valvano. Let me tell you about my fantastic experience with Ken J. Beener & Son HVAC, your trusted independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. Just recently, they installed the new HVAC unit in my home, and I couldn't be happier. From start to finish, their team's professional, knowledgeable, and made the whole process literally a breeze. Thanks to Ken J. Beener & Son, my home is comfortable year-round. For top-quality HVAC service, I highly recommend them, so call Ken J. Beener & Son today. Feel the difference with American Standard.
Got scrap metal? Midwest Metals makes recycling easy. Step 1, bring your scrap metal to any Midwest Metals location. Step 2, we weigh your haul while you relax. Step 3, get paid. It's that simple. We accept copper, aluminum, brass, and lead at all our facilities, as well as steel at our Shelbyville and Lexington locations. For years, Midwest Metal has been serving our community and spreading the word about the importance of recycling. Visit us in Louisville, Shelbyville, or Lexington, or check out mwmcorp.com for more details. Midwest Metals, recycling made simple, cash made easy.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 18 plus only. Must be physically located in Kentucky.
Your chance to get that rare, hard-to-find luxury timepiece is here at Genesis Diamond. Hi, this is Eddie Edmoni, VP at Genesis. Next Friday and Saturday, March 7 and 8, Genesis is hosting an epic pre-owned luxury Rolex buy-sell trade event, featuring a stunning new selection of these most sought-after watches, Submariners, Daytonas, Pepsi, Batmans, including never-worn fresh models that people wait years for. No waiting list, no legal games. During this event, you can take advantage of special pricing and up to 60 months zero-interest financing.
Think the defense
and listen to this, with the purchase of any
dude made the one play on the tie-up.
Two-day event, Genesis will give you a
maybe check his
diamond stud earrings of the highest
he was
quality,
expecting his Naismith treatment a little
and if
bit.
you are already a Rolex owner, bring your old Rolex to trade.
He did have Mr. C. Yeah, he did. Edwards did have the clutch threes.
Next Friday and Saturday, March 7 and 8, only at Genesis Diamonds.
Robert Maxwell in the building.
On Rolexes. Shelbyville Plaza. See store for details.
Your home is your fortress, and your first line of defense is your roof. So if your roof is under attack by either Mother Nature or Father Time, you should be calling Citadel Roofing and Construction. Citadel Roofing and Construction is locally owned and operated. Will provide free inspections, estimates, and of course they'll work with your insurance. Did I also mention their A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau? Let Citadel Roofing and Construction
I agree. One of my first AAU trips.
By calling 502-219-7964 today.
Hey, it's Steve Rummage here. You've probably heard all about the new regulations that have hit the real estate market, making the process more complex than ever. And if you're not working with the right real estate agent professional, you could find yourself out of bounds fast. That's why it's more important than ever to work with someone who's proven their expertise.
The box warning.
Like my good friend Josh Jarbo. Josh was recently inducted into the RE/MAX Hall of Fame and named one of Louisville's 40 under 40. This guy knows the game inside and out. Josh and the team at RE/MAX Empire are the seasoned pros you want on your side. They know how to navigate the market, make the right calls, and get you the best deal
turn the ball over
so
like
don't let a
that.
cut rate agent make a rookie mistake and fumble your financial future. Whether you're buying, selling, or just need some mortgage advice, these are the folks you want in your corner. So here's the point. Call Josh Jarbo, 502-216-7590.
These guys
or
might
check
be
him out
coasting to the
online
finish
at
line,
joshjarbo.
ready to get some
RE/MAXEmpireKY.com.
tournament action going or
And here's
something.
a special offer just for you guys. Mention you heard it right here on 93.9 The Ville, and you're going to receive up to a $5,000 seller's credit. I'll leave you with this. Top-notch service. Might
That's
seem
funny,
expensive,
Jason.
but poor service can cost you a fortune. Don't settle for less than the best.
Josh Jarbo, principal broker owner of RE/MAX Empire and co-founder of Modern Mortgage A to Z. NMLS number 2256125. Each office is independently owned and operated. Modern Mortgage A to Z is an equal house lender.
I'm former Louisville basketball player Luke Hancock. When the NCAA tried to take away the most outstanding player award from the 2013 tournament,
Way to
I
hit
got it
free
back,
throws at
thanks
the
to
down
Morgan
the
&
stretch,
Morgan.
guys.
Morgan & Morgan is the personal injury firm that fights for the people, and their team treats clients like family. Morgan & Morgan changed my life, and if you've been injured in a car crash, at work, or in a slip and fall, they may be able to change yours. For a free consultation, dial #LAW on your cell phone. That's #529. Offices Louisville.
Most people don't put much thought into the value of a reliable water or sewage pump until they have to. Well, I have a team that never stops thinking about it. Kentuckiana Pump Sales. With over 35 years of experience, Kentuckiana Pump Sales, a premier Ashland pump shop, includes sump, sewage, grinder pumps, and many more to service all residential,
I can't argue with that.
commercial,
That
and
is-
industrial needs. Next
Right?
time you think about
I mean,
pumps,
of
think
course you want them
Kentuckiana
just
Pump
to
Sales, 3303
stay
Industrial
foot on the gas
Parkway,
all the time, but
Jeffersonville, Indiana, or visit
tough.
KentuckianaPumps.com.
Unlimited wash plans from Mike's Car Wash were
I
made
didn't.
for our unpredictable winter weather.
I didn't.
Unlimited plans let you wash as often as you want to stay ahead of the worst
Yeah,
of
he got
winter.
some good
Purchase
looks. He
unlimited
got some
plans
great
at any
looks.
of Mike's 40
He probably still haven't
locations.
been
Open
practicing
daily
either,
at 7
like
a.m.
full throttle.
Looking for a thrilling new experience in Louisville? Head over to Next Level Ranges, the city's newest high-tech gun range. Whether you're a pro or a beginner, we've got the perfect setup with state-of-the-art lanes, expert instructors, and a safe, welcoming atmosphere. Wrap up your shooting with a farm-to-table meal from Grass Social, or kick up your feet and relax in our exclusive members lounge. With personal lockers for your convenience, you'll feel right at home. Located just off Blankenbaker Parkway across from Lexus of Louisville and J-Town, Next Level Ranges, where
Ooh.
precision meets passion. Visit
Y'all need to start meeting me at the
nextlevelranges.com for
range.
more information. That's nextlevelranges.com.
Your home is your fortress, and your first line of defense is your roof. So if your roof is under attack by either Mother Nature or Father Time, you should be calling Citadel Roofing and Construction.
Brad, did you
Citadel Roofing
did
and
you
Construction
request
is
a
locally owned and
Midnight
operated.
Family
They
shirt?
provide free inspections, estimates, and of course they'll work with your insurance. Did I also mention their A+ rating with the Better
Midnight
Business
Family
Bureau?
shirts for the blackout?
Let Citadel Roofing and Construction protect the
That was
roof
bad.
that protects you
Okay.
by calling
Is that what?
502-219-7964 today.
Keep an ear out.
Herb.
Before we go any further, let me take a second to remind everybody that temperature control is and always will be one of the most valuable resources one could have. If you agree with that sentiment, then DFH Company is most certainly the company for you. Simply dial 9686222 or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Make sure you look into the Mitsubishi Mini Split like the one we use at the 93.9 studios for that hard to heat hard to cool room in your home. Again, 968-6222, or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Great job closing out on the free throws, Steve.
Yeah.
Free throws down the stretch. I was really happy about that. I know you're going to get into personnel in the second hour.
Here's the thing. I'm not going to as much as you think, actually.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna go down a little different road. Do a little recruiting and a couple other things that I want to chat about.
Okay, well let me hit the last touches of the personnel. Steve.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to use these last couple minutes to act like I hate my team, okay? So just bear with me for this one. Javon Hadley. The other team does not quit. You can't dribble. Who's the fastest person? Is John Wall the fastest person you ever seen with the ball in his hand, Steve?
Probably pretty close.
You can't dribble in the middle of the floor and expect not to get back tipped. I've seen Javon Hadley get back tipped far too many times. Listen, Steve, I swear, like it's almost okay, Steve. You ever see like I'll describe it like this. When I first played against UCLA my freshman year, right?
Mm-hmm.
The guy in front of me, his name was Toby Bailey. You remember that name?
Yep. Oh yeah, big dunk in the title game against Arkansas.
Yes. So I found myself as a freshman in front of Toby Bailey. Now, Toby Bailey everybody knows he should have left. He should have left right off the bat. He ended up, I believe, not even getting drafted, right? Steve, I couldn't believe how loose he was with the basketball when I was playing against him. So, I wore in high school, I wore the extra long, like the undershirt, the t-shirt underneath the uniform.
He wore a t-shirt too, though, right? Like, wasn't he a t-shirt guy?
I wore that because I liked him. Like, as a freshman, I was probably a junior in college, or he might have just been a year or two ahead of me. But at the time, I liked that. I liked that style. Steve, when I found myself on the court with him, this is 12 games into my college career, I think. I looked down at that basketball and I'm like, he doesn't have control of the basketball. But I couldn't make myself go for it. I'm like, he's going to make me look stupid. Look, he's baiting me. He's purposely putting this basketball in front of me, and then he's just going to blow around me and go punch on somebody. And listen, so there was like 5 possessions I felt like I could take the ball, but I just couldn't believe my eyes, right? I feel like that's how people look at Javon Hadley when he dribbles in the middle of the court in transition. Because I'm like, he's not fast enough to dribble in the middle of the floor and not get back tipped. So I'm watching it and I just like, but I can see the lights go on in people's minds. Like, you're not supposed to be doing this, right? So that's like a super pet peeve of him. I think Terrence Edwards. Terrence Edwards, it happens to him a couple times too. Like Chucky is the only person that should be dribbling in the middle of the floor when there's people behind him. Everybody else get to the side or protect the ball. That's number 1. Number 2.
Well, because it was maddening, man. Just in such a play, and you just boom right in the middle of the court, and it's like, dude, if you dribble at half court, it's going to be taken. We teach high school basketball right now. We tell them if you dribble in the middle of the court against a team that's pressing you, there is someone coming to back you. I promise you.
I promise you. And to my team, if you let somebody dribble up the court in the middle of the court and somebody doesn't back tip, I swear for Christ, it's going to be mass substitution.
Yeah,
because y'all are coming out. Like if he can dribble faster than you can run and back tip, and I don't see you trying to back tip it, you don't deserve. You don't deserve to be on my court. Okay, it's like
Marcus.
Go ahead.
Real quick, let me do something. We got Doc on the line. Can we squeeze him in, and then we'll go back to your finish up. Doc, welcome in, man. What's going on?
So, I thought last night's game was an example of different coaching and scouting reports. As Marcus was talking about, worrying about not your two stars, but your Javon Hadleys.
Mm-hmm.
I think our scouting report clearly took away Shudi and Lawal, but didn't pay any attention to their Javon Hadleys at all. And at the same time, their scouting report, to me, it looked like Chucky got very few paint touches. They were forcing him left, right, but not into the paint. And when our guys did try to get paint touches, when Terrence or Javon got into the paint, those guys never left their feet. They didn't reach down. We didn't get to the free throw line like we usually do with all Javon and Terrence's, pump fakes, head fakes, ball fakes. They took us out of our game completely. The other thing that surprised me, at least it seemed to me that we changed our approach to offensive rebounding. Several times we'd have a shot go up and our guys would be retreating instead of attacking the paint. There was a missed layup that Chucky had that usually somebody was going to be crashing the boards and tipping that in or jamming it in. And that just rolled off helplessly and we had nobody around. Definitely different from how we usually play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Doc, appreciate the call, man.
Agree. I can't believe Chucky Hepburn missed that layup, Steve. He doesn't miss that. He doesn't miss that layup.
There was a lot, but that's kind of the point. There was a lot of uncharacteristic stuff that happened last night, and they won the game. Like that was kind of the. I mean, they, and that's going to happen, man. That's going to happen, and I mean, we looked. As a texter's coming up right now, it says, I think we look noticeably winded, especially in the second half. It could be the sickness that went through. I did love how Javon Hadley, Paul asked him in the post game. He was like, the sickness. And Javon was like, nope, absolutely not. Like he wouldn't even acknowledge it. He was like, no, it had nothing to do with it. We were just, credit to them. This way, even though I'm sure it did. A little bit, at least I hope so.
Or just your practice habits change, and that can lead. Like a coach might rest you thinking he's recharging your battery, but you really it's the rest versus rust. You might have actually throttled them down by taking care of that. Like it's a gamble. It's like, hey, do you run the sickness out of somebody? Or do you hydrate the sickness out of somebody? Do you rest the sickness? Do you work through it? You and I have this conversation all the time. When you feel sick or, you just push through it. And then sometimes you pass out.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's great for you. Sometimes you get the good sweat. You get the toxins out. You feel good. You feel great. Sometimes you crash. Last thing. Abubakar, what the hell was that? What the hell was that?
On the fast break.
Steve.
Yeah.
Listen, this was your chance. Kanai, Noah, Abubakar, you're up big early. Coach gets you in early. Abubakar, you have this chance. You got a chance to. Oh, that dude was coming at the perfect angle to get punched on. The perfect angle. Steve, when I tell you the perfect angle, you'll never, ever, ever have an opportunity like that. Just the Kanai roots the other night when the guy came late and you're like, what was that guy thinking?
Yeah.
Like you're too late to jump for that. Abubakar, what the hell was that? That's all I can say. You gotta dunk. You gotta dunk that. Listen, let me give one more shout out before we get out of here at the top of the hour. You can land the plane. I want to take a second to give a huge shout out and special thanks to one of the newest members of the team. That would be one Kentucky and Pump Sales. You can play us out. For every home, building, business, or municipality that all rely on the movement these pumps provide. People, the moment you need a water or sewage pump, you should be thinking Kentucky and Pump Sales. They're like our first responders or essential personnel. Over 36 years of experience, best service, fairest possible price, and it's right over in Jeffersonville, Indiana. People, go see Harold or go see Mark. They'll find out exactly what you need. Utility, sump, affluent, grinder, sewage, anything you need. 3303 Industrial Parkway, Jeffersonville, Indiana, of course. Or you can give them a call, 812-725-9217, or simply visit KentuckyAnnaPumps.com. With all that said, any agitation is because I'm proud of the team. I'm proud of them fighting through. I'm proud of the resolve. That's why I can bark at everybody. Chucky, don't miss that layup. And Chucky, scout reports out. Chucky likes to go to the left when he needs a bucket. He should have got it. He should have got his foul call when he almost dunked on the guy. That should have been a foul. You know, when he double clutched it real hard.
Yep, absolutely.
I need to get my call. He's a Naismith Player of the Year candidate. Got to get the call.
Is he? I don't know. Who knows? He probably fell. It's probably third team All ACC.
We're gonna drop 2 spots, Steve, for beating Virginia Tech by only.
On the bubble now, probably.
All right, have fun, Steve. 939 The Ville.
Means